Stowers leaves the yard again.
You love to see it from Stowers. 3 home runs in 3 games.
Stowers! No way! A walk-off grand slam! This kid is unconscious! No way did he do that! This place is going bananas.
And Kyle Stowers, get to know him. He's your National League Player of the Week presented by Chevrolet. Why? All he did was dominate. Of his 8 hits, 4 were homers, including that walk-off 2-out 9th inning grand slam against the A's. This is how Kyle found out he was the NL Player of the Week. Watch.
I get the privilege of telling you that you received a National League Player of the Week.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Dude, just wanted to say it's just such an honor being your older brother. I know the most important thing to you is obviously winning games, and you really could care less about the accolades, but it's just a huge testament on all the work you're putting in, and just super proud of you. I know your family's proud of you. You win Brother of the Year, you win Husband of the Year, you win Son of the Year, all the things that are most important you're so good at, but I'm just so happy that you get to share in some award for all the hard work you're doing. Super proud of you and love you very much.
Thanks, Mike. It means a lot. I love you too.
Oh, my goodness. That was Michael Stowers, the older brother of Kyle Stowers, giving his little bro a call to congratulate him. What a moment that was. And Kyle joins us now on the National Pregame Show. Kyle, we have been fans of yours ever since opening day. You've been raking so far this year. I have 5 brothers. None of them that nice to me. None of them that nice to me. That was quite the moment.
Yeah, it was special. I was a little bit younger than both of my brothers, and so they were feuding with each other, and I was kind of the one that got off a little easy.
Did they help you be the baseball player you are today?
100%. You know, when it came to any sport, they let me play with their friends, and I felt like they didn't take it easy on me. I'm sure they did a little bit, but just to be able to compete against, you know, them being older and their friends, and you know, super competitive family, so it was a lot of fun getting to do that and getting pushed in that way.
So cool, Kyle. I'm the youngest brother also, and it seemed like my reward is, hey, Harold, you shagged all day, we'll give you 2 swings. That was kind of it, you know? That was about it.
Oh, man.
Hey, let me take you back and ask you a little bit about the home run the other day in the athletics game. Take me back through the AB.
Yeah, when X was up, he got to a 2-0 count, and so at that moment I felt like I was going to get the at-bat, that he was going to get walked. Mason Miller, who's an amazing pitcher, was a little bit struggling to find the zone a few at-bats, and so I was just ready for it. I told myself on deck that, you know, you don't rise to the occasion, you sink to the level of your preparation, and so I just felt like I was ready for the moment. I train heaters, I train velocity, and it was just kind of getting out of body and just letting my reactions take over.
So were you looking away? Were you looking in? Were you just looking for fastball?
Just looking for heater in zone, just trying to be on time. You know, I think, you know, just trying to simplify it as much as I could. You know, I think the more we think, sometimes we can get in our own way. So, you know, against an arm like that, you got to just trust what you got and, you know, get your foot down and hope for the best.
Yeah, I like that, because a lot of times, you know, the broadcasters today are like, he ambushed him. And I'm always going, he doesn't want to get down on this guy. He's got too much nasty stuff. So it's almost like a reverse approach to a lot of people. Like, I'm going aggressive, I'm looking for that pitch. And that's how I kind of viewed it. Is that how you see it?
Yeah, I think, you know, for me, you know, if someone swings hard, you know, I just want to be aggressive, get as many, you know, swings off and good pitches to hit, you know, for me, you know, just trying to get the heart of the zone and being aggressive to it, trying to do damage.
When you come up in an organization that had so many position players like Baltimore, to get the chance that you're getting in Miami to play every day must be special, but it's also not just you that's getting that opportunity. Do you feel like you're part of a groundswell, this youth movement there in Miami right now?
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of where the Orioles were at, you know, when I was coming up through the system, right? You know, sure, like, you know, there hasn't been as much winning as we'd like, but I think, you know, we're seeing a lot of, you know, kind of just like the roots being put into place, you know, the foundation being set, and if I've learned anything, that like this type of stuff can turn around really, really fast. And so I think if we're all just pushing each other, staying hungry, staying competitive, and you know, I feel like we're in a lot of these games, and I really do think things are going to start turning our way here sooner than later.
So Kyle, on the show, I love to throw comps around. Which young players remind me of who? I've got like 5 different guys for you. So is there a comp that you think is a good fit for Kyle Stowers that you would recommend to me?
You know, I've heard a few different. Come up in high school, I heard, you know, I got a Larry Walker one once. I always like Cody Bellinger. Kind of lengthy, uses his levers, hits for power, athletic. You know, that was one I liked. You know, I got with the Orioles a couple times, Nick Markakis. So those are a few of the ones I've heard thrown out.
Those are all pretty good players, I'll give you that. Hey, I want to take you back to one thing you said earlier. You train off velocity. So explain that to our viewers, how you train off velocity.
Yeah, we have this spin ball machine, which can, you know, get it up to, you know, over 100 miles per hour, and from distance too. So you're tracking that ball the whole way, and so, you know, it starts with, for me, hitting balls off that, and then I try to like make it even more challenging by scooting up closer to it, and just kind of like anticipating where I want to see the pitch in the strike zone, and then after I move up closer and closer, I go back to normal distance, and it helps me kind of process the ball for a longer time.
I think that's one of the reasons why you're such a great hitter. I think obviously you got to be looking for velocity if you're training off it, and then being able to hit a breaking pitch seems easier. That's kind of how our generation came up. Is that your thinking at the plate, or are you sitting on breaking balls when you hit them like everybody seems to think everybody's doing?
Yeah, how I like to think about it is like it's see it then hit it, not see it and hit it at the same time. So I want to process the ball from as soon as release as I possibly can. I want to see it, you know, rather than maybe seeing it deep, I want to see it as long as I can. Like, you know, if the pitcher is releasing the ball from, let's just call it, you know, 60 feet from where his release is, then I want to see it for as much of that 60 feet as I possibly can.
You know, growing up as a kid, I played first base, tall left-handed hitter, so I idolized like the Fred McGriff, the Will Clark, the Mark Grace, right? So as a left-handed hitter, I'm sure you really do appreciate great left-handed hitters. Well, tonight you get to see Shohei Ohtani and Freddie Freeman up close. I know you're a big leaguer now. You're solidifying yourself every day, Kyle, but that's still pretty cool, right?
Yeah, I mean, just playing against the best in the world is still surreal to me. You know, it's so much fun. You know, you like to see, you know, how you stack up against the best pitchers, the best hitters. I'm just so grateful to God to be doing, you know, this, to have, you know, the platform to do something that people care about. It's truly special.
Your NL Player of the Week presented by Chevrolet, Kyle Stowers of the Miami Marlins. Congratulations and stay hot, okay, Kyle?